is a face to camera with Sophie screaming in the background. I apologise. This is just a warning. I do swear in this video. I don't really apologise for swearing. I think it's mildly in context. Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this week's WiPnChat. Grab your cuppa and I'll tell you a story about my cuppa in just a second. Alright, ooh, yeah. Okay, I have my drills pre-selected for what is in this section here. I hope you're not bored of this mystery DP and you're still enjoying seeing the picture develop. So in no particular order and with absolutely no flourish, we're just going to get started on a colour, and I think there's only 3 of these. I haven't even picked a pen. Let's go for something a little bit bigger. Let's go for this one. This is one of the Halloween-y ones I think I got last year. Don't know. You would have to go back through videos to see the exact one, but look, it's pretty. I'll do a swirl. It's got purples through it and it's beautiful, and I think it is a Diamond Penz pen. It's Penz with a Z. Oh, I only needed 3 of these. Go away. Alright, so let's catch you up on life and everything else. Okay, the tea story. Might as well start off with that. I know it's going to be all out of order, but there you go. The tea, because it only just happened. I went to the toilet, came back. Oh no, I tucked Sophie back into bed because she was not wanting to go to bed. And came and poured the milk into my cup and put the sugar in and put the tea in. That's how I make the tea, don't judge me. And then I poured the hot water, or at least what I thought was hot water, in, and then realised it was still tepid from a previous boil. So threw the whole thing down the sink, kept the tea bag, and the sugar stayed at the bottom of the cup. So it's overly sweet now. I was like, ugh. My husband thinks my life is exciting. Let me tell you about yesterday. That's that's a whole other story too. Shite. Okay. Yeah, so what's happening this week? Well, yesterday was Halloween. We had nobody call because we didn't pull a balloon out. I don't know if anyone actually went trick-or-treating at all in the neighbourhood. Usually our street is kind of buzzing, but didn't hear anything. The dog, who's actually a pretty lousy watchdog, didn't bark or do anything untoward. Didn't even hear fireworks going off, which sometimes you hear, you know, bangers and pops and explosions and that kind of thing. I do have an awful lot of photos to include in this post-editing. You guys are going to absolutely squeal, I hope. Hang on, let me just double check something. Making some space. Alright. Just want to make sure my computer wasn't going to run out of space too. Where were we from last week? I think I recorded last Monday rather than Sunday. So in the interim period, the GP referred me to another specialist nerve spine physio place, and she's given me some exercises. She said my range of motion with the nerve pain is ridiculously low. I told her, funnily enough, crouching seems to help, and I only discovered that the day before I saw her, because it was like, put me on the ground. I think I mentioned it in the live that I had to crouch just outside the shopping centre cash registers to the supermarket, and it was like, this is comfortable, okay. And I was like, but I can't stay in a crouch position for the rest of my life. So she's given me these exercises that feel like they do nothing, which is fine, because if it doesn't hurt, then it's all good, and they're easy to do. I think it's something to do with nerve gliding, if you guys are familiar with anything to do with nerves. So that's been okay, although the pain levels have still been kind of up there. Now, funny tale to maybe get onto at the end, or towards the end. We didn't get up to much during the week, I don't think. Did we? Did we?
Oh, I can't remember. It's all blurred.
I know, it's all blurred into the ether. I don't know what we did. Yeah, it kind of gets like that when you're...
Must have done something.
We must have done something. I mean, the days happened.
No arm wrestling.
No, we didn't do any arm wrestling. Watch some YouTube. Watch some TV, movie kind of stuff. Watched a really cool movie. I'm still actually in the middle of it. Summerland. I'm really enjoying that. It's a wartime movie where they relocated kids, and this witch, as the kids in the neighborhood dubbed her, because she was into all kinds of weird things and she lived alone, and yeah, it's the kind of thing that kids would have done back in the 30s, 40s. Anyway, she has to look after this child, like literally this child from London who's been evacuated is told, you're living with her, and she's going, but I didn't get the letter because she's got some nasty kids in her neighbourhood who shoved shit in her letterbox, or flowers or something, like dirt included, into her letterbox, so she didn't get the letter, and even if she did, she would have hit the roof. And suddenly this child is presented to her, and she's kind of going, I don't want him, and the kid's standing right next to her, and I was like, oh, yike. Yeah, I can only imagine how it would have been for kids being relocated. I know my dad has told me stories of when he was in the war. He was in Oxford, I think. I think that's where the family kind of brought them up. But he had blackout curtains on the house, and one of the blackout curtains fell down, broke his front tooth, and he had a plate in ever since. So that was his story. And then he could suck his chest in, and his literally, like around the base of the sternum, he could suck in this big hollow in his chest, and he said that's where he caught the shell. Okay, I know that's just a fable, but it was funny anyway. And it was one of those weird freaky things that your dad can do, and it's like, okay, you know, do you believe them or not? Yeah, but the blackout curtain, he knocked his tooth out, and I know he had the plate with this one kind of tooth on the front of it, until he needed more teeth at the back. Sorry?
You'd assume he still has it then.
Yes, he just have more teeth attached to the plate. Yes, he's still kicking around.
Like
I know, we woke up this morning and somebody had posted that Sean Connery had died today, and it was like, no!
Which means that your dad is the
And my dad is 93, and Sean Connery was 90 when he died, and he'd been sick. And, I mean, okay, very tongue-in-cheek this, the poor man died in the Bahamas. You know, can't all live somewhere delicious. Anyway, he died with family. He had apparently... Sorry?
He could only afford to live in a tax haven.
Oh, he could only afford to live in a tax haven. Anyway, he was a much-loved character and actor and all that kind of thing. And I know when the word gets out, there will be tributes a-popping from all sorts of people who worked with him. He was a lovely guy. I loved him in any of the interviews that I ever watched him in. So yes, sorry to be the bearer of bad news if you haven't heard by now. Yeah, real shame. But most of the stuff he's getting the fame for... I'm actually going to put some tape on this. I think I had blue tack. It's not working. So let me get some tape. Most of what he's famous for is James Bond. But surely he's done more than just Bond.
Oh, he did something with, my ex, her, Catherine.
Yeah, Marcus reckons he was he was with Catherine Zeta-Jones before Michael got her. Yeah.
You stole her from me. Yeah.
Stole her from him. Oh dear.
I shouldn't have kicked her out of bed.
Right. My ex's movie fling was Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, she was alright, but a bit old.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I couldn't actually think of what he did that was not James Bond related, and I'm sure he's done more because he's got a bloody knighthood. Maybe he just got a knighthood for being Bond because her ladyship actually likes Bond, and she was in a Bond. She is a Bond girl. Did you know that? And apparently the scene that she's in with Daniel Craig, because he got to meet her in the movie, he gets to meet her, but I think he's actually met her as well. I don't know if he's got an OBE, but anyway, he's the kind of person who would get an OBE because he's just like delish too. But he got to meet her in the movie, and there's a beat where she makes him wait while she's scribbling the letters. That wasn't scripted. That was Her Mistress, Majesty, Her Honor, whatever, improvising on the movies. I thought that was a cool bit of info. It was very, very cool. Anyway, yeah, can't think of what else Sean Connery was in. But he must have been in more than just Bond. It's like, wow. Oh, he was in Hunt for Red October. He was pretty good in that. Distinguished gentleman, captain, whatever he was. That was kind of cool. But yeah, I haven't gone on to IMDb and searched his movie thing. I'm one of these people. Put the movie on, and I probably annoy the hell out of my husband. I put the movie on, and within 2 minutes I'm going into IMDb trivia. And then I'll be kind of going, oh, this is the scene where they, you know, and I'll tell him afterwards. But
no, during.
Sometimes it's during. Okay.
That's the sort.
It's kind of like, oh, this scene actually took this amount of takes, or they couldn't control themselves, you know.
And up to that point, I'd been oblivious that that scene might have been incredibly important, and I'm just treating it like every other scene in the movie, with intent and concentration. No. And you're going, but this is important because it's a...
Yeah.
I don't want to know that it's more important than the other scenes.
But it's only important from non-movie points of view because...
I don't want to know that it's any more important.
Go and make the roast, dear.
Oh, that's mean.
It's Sunday. It's roast day.
Go and tell them why I'm in pain.
Okay. No, because that's later on in the week.
Oh.
Where am I up to? I don't know if I'm even up to the weekend. Maybe I should just skip to the weekend and then we'll just talk about whatever other strange things come into my mind. So, you know, the plan now is to hunt down waterfalls and the plan originally was go for a long drive, go for a short walk. Does that sound like a fairly good plan? It sounds like a plan when you've got two broken geriatric old... Well, okay, he's over 50, I'm not. Anyway, when you've got two broken people who, you know, don't think that they can walk very far, he hates walking because he gets sore. Poor little lamb. So yesterday we went to a waterfall that is 5 minutes. Now get this. 5 minutes. Outside Hobart, the major city in Tasmania. 5 minutes and you're in the middle of the bush, the middle of nowhere, nobody around. Actually, you can hear the roar of the traffic down on the highway, but there's trees. That's it. 5 minutes out of the city. We have the most amazing city state that you've ever seen. And now I've just seen one that I didn't pick up. There it is. Okay, so we go to this waterfall that's called Myrtle Gully Falls. Okay, sippy. Oh, that is a sweet tea. All right, so we go to Myrtle Gully Falls. Okay, we go to the directions on Google, the directions on the Waterfalls of Tasmania page, and we follow the instructions. Now, with Myrtle Gully Falls, there are actually two little falls that are significant, and both are on the same, let's call them a waterway. Okay, both are on the same river. One is called Secret Falls, and I'll start popping in the pictures now so you kind of get the idea. Secret Falls is so freaking idyllic. It's a cavern almost, the way it's formed with these mossy rocks. Now, Secret Falls is the worst kept secret in Hobart, apparently, if you're hunting waterfalls. But it's off the beaten track, and people are saying this should be made so that it's protected, which would be an awful shame in some ways, but it would be good in other ways because people just tread everywhere, and, you know, you can see where they walk, and not so much the damage that they do, but because it's so easily accessible, Sorry, my drill is stuck. Get out. Because it's so easily accessible, you get every Tom, Dick and Harry going to them, doing damage, because some of the people around Hobart are, excuse me, fuckwits when it comes to nature walking. Okay, so we are on this main track, which everybody walks on. It's fine. But to your left, you start getting this louder falling water noise, and then you see these mudslides that have been created. And then there's a second kind of mudslide. It's all documented. There's two kind of tracks down in. Well, Marcus and his daughter, 11, go down the first one. And I go down the second one with Sophie, who had gone on ahead onto the next lot of steps, or even the first lot of steps. Now, it's it's coming up to 1 o'clock, and I start this walk, okay? Coming up to 1 o'clock on a Saturday, for me on some weeks means be-stitch me Friday night, fight night. Okay, so I need the internet to be able to put my name on a piece of fabric that Brandy Prather has made in her albums, and it is a fight to get first place. So I'm sitting there going, I need the internet. Anyway, we go down, we take these pictures of these gorgeous, gorgeous falls that aren't full flow or anything because it hasn't been raining. It pretty much dries up to a dribble in the summer because we just don't have good water source in Tasmania. We don't have natural springs. So the falls is good. The moss is lush, it's green, it's wet, very, very wet. So it's really, really, really kind of cool, spectacular kind of. My husband's just said it's temperate rainforest. Anyway, we're on the foothills of Mount Wellington, if you're familiar with that too. I've put it in photos on multiple media. Anyway, we get in, we take our pictures. Of course, my husband has decided that yesterday is the day that he's going to reflash his phone, because he's having some problems, because the tech genius thinks that he's downloaded some bogus apps. So he's being overly paranoid. He says cautious, I say paranoid. Anyway, doesn't matter. He's reflashed his phone, left it at home while it's doing its thing, so we're using my phone only. He factory wiped it. We're using my phone only to navigate to said spot and take photos and everything else. So we take our photos of the secret falls, and then we go on to Myrtle Falls. Well, I'll tell you what, Myrtle Falls, by comparison with Secret Falls, in its current state of water flow, there's a bridge across it, and this is where, if Lost Falls got developed, it would detract from it. The bridge takes away from the pretty because of where they've put it, but it gives you a kind of good scope if you're taking maybe a phone picture rather than a camera that can zoom in. Anyway, it's like an okay kind of fall, and it was like, is that it? Okay. Well, when we had read The Waterfalls of Tasmania, it said you can continue along the track and you can meet up with the Old Farm Road. And I'm kind of thinking, okay, so it does connect, it does do a route and that. Couldn't get GPS signal down in this gully under the trees, so I didn't quite know where we were, and Google wasn't putting me on the track that we were actually on, so I didn't know if the track was not shown and we weren't on it and we were on an unmarked piece of track or whatever. So Google and the phone weren't talking to each other. I did get my piece of fabric, thank you Brandy, when I stopped, and the kid is kind of going, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, go on. It's fine. Yeah. Anyway, got my piece of fabric, kept trotting along. I was happy then, got that. Keep going up, and there's waterfall after waterfall after waterfall, and I've gone in here with my sunglasses on thinking, this is a 10-minute walk, we won't be long, whatever. Had my phone in one pocket, the keys in the other pocket, didn't bring my bottle of water or anything. Well, we just keep heading upstream, you know, with the gradient increasing as waterfalls, you know, rivers tend to flow downhill. 1.7 kilometers later, with steps, which you'll see in the pictures, with steps, with moss, with toadstools. I got toadstools. They're very cute. And there's a spider, but I didn't get a very good picture of it. Again, trying to take photos with sunglasses on in the gloom of the the canopy wasn't the best of ideas. They're getting so sweaty and wet. I'm wringing them like windscreen wiper washers. It was, well, I could say hilarious, but it wasn't quite hilarious. Anyway, we continue going up. Sophie decides she's going to spit the dummy. The older kid keeps on offering to pick her up, and I'm thinking, oh, far out. You know what it's like, parents? If you've ever picked up your kid, it's the worst thing in the world you've ever done. Right. She keeps picking Sophie up. I keep stopping to take photographs, and Marcus keeps stopping to keep an eye on me because he doesn't know if it's my nerves going or if it's something else. So yes, we have a bit of a thing happening. So I'm stopping it feels like every 5 minutes I'm stopping to take pictures because there's a new vista and there's a new thing and there's, oh my God, it was just incredible. So I want to do this walk again when I don't have glasses. The 11-year-old said she doesn't want to do the walk ever again. Not sure I blame her. My calves are screaming at me right now.
Hang on, just to point out, the 1.7K you talked about wasn't even a half.
No, I did, yeah. The 1.7K was just up. Just to make that clear, okay? So we keep going. And then eventually my phone kind of settles and puts us on the trail. And I kind of go, okay, well, we're here. That means the joining track is here. We might as well just keep going now. We've gone so far. And we know what we've come back from, which is, you know, slippy, muddy, wet. Going back down, it would be not so fun and all that kind of thing. So we keep going. And then we get to what's called the fire trail. And the fire trail is as wide as a road, as wide as a single car road. So it's as wide as a fire trail. A fire truck. Okay, but it's quite rough. It's gravelly, it's got loose rock, and it's rough in a lot of places. Like if you were going to be driving this, you wouldn't be going fast, and you would be wanting a four-wheel drive kind of, you know, thing. You wouldn't be doing this in a two-wheel drive or anything else. Normal car. You wouldn't do it. Cars don't go there anyway. The fire trucks do. So this is all as equally steep downhill. There is a trail off to the right-hand side that's also called Old Farm Road Trail or something. It's for bikes only. And I tell Marcus we're not doing that track because if it's for bikes and they're hurtling down, they don't want to see pedestrians and you don't want to meet a bike coming down a hill mountain biking. We did meet a guy cycling up and Marcus had a bit of a giggle with him.
Well, he said, I'm getting too old for this.
He said he was getting too old for this, and Marcus said something about, I want an e-bike. You know, he was monitoring his pain levels and we're all kind of going, oh, are we there yet? We're all going, are we there yet? Sophie has been up on Marcus's shoulders for, I don't know, maybe a third of the time only. She actually did really, really well. The 11-year-old is whinging. She keeps picking up a stick every freaking minute that I'm not looking at her. And every time I look around, she's got a stick back in her hand. I was like, oh, spare me. Why am I objecting to sticks? Well, there's various reasons. It's naturally where the sticks fall, they're supposed to be left there for a start. Marcus's thing is that it's illegal to pick up anything from out on the trail because Parks and Wildlife have deemed it to be theirs and natural part and all the rest. She's picking up these weak little sticks thinking that they're going to support her if something was to go down, and in fact all they would do is crack and stab her. And she's swinging it round and she's hitting the thing and she's just messing with it and just not being careful and not giving a shit. So she's being a really bad example for Sophie. And she's just being downright annoying. And the fact that she keeps repeating and getting the stick when I have told her not to get the stick is what pisses me off even more. What? He's interrupting. What did you say?
I said the crux of the problem was that she was annoying you.
She was annoying me by ignoring me. And then thinking, oh, well, Pippa can't see me, I'll pick up another stick kind of crap. And it was just like, oh, she's really just pressing my buttons and not showing any consideration. I better stop there. Anyway, come down onto the main fire trail. And this is where the path opens up even double wide. And down to the left is these terraced kind of areas in green grass that has been cropped by the kangaroos. Now, if you were to go here at dusk, this place would be black. Wallabies. Bush kangaroos. Anyway, the Bennett's grey wallabies, right? There was crap everywhere. Like, you know when you go into a grass field and you see bunny poo everywhere? Skippy poo was everywhere. It was so full. And then there was a couple of bunny spots as well with bunny runs and things like that. It was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And most of the time my back was okay. A couple of times, well, more than a couple of times, I had to crouch and take the strain off the nerve. Going uphill, what I'm doing is leaning into a step as anyone would do, and it wasn't hurting or aggravating the nerve, so that was okay. So yeah, I mean, if my colleagues were to have seen me, they'd probably go, well, what the fuck is wrong with you and why aren't you at work, kind of thing. And it's like, well, yeah, it's all well and good to say, except I'm managing my pain. I have no choice. I'm on this trail. I need to either go up and go down or go down. And, you know, we chose to, unfortunately, take the long road around. But it's also core training, and I'll get to that in just a minute. So it steps up all the way up, and then it's this gorgeous vista. And then the kid starts shouting out, "Look, Sophie, we're at the beginning of the trail." And I tell you what, I look left when I get to a certain point and I see the barrier where the cars are, and I've never been so fucking grateful. And I know, like, back in 2015, sorry, I think, no, 2014, I did the Paris Marathon. I don't recommend this style of training. I was drinking 6 cups of coffee a day, a fistful of food or smaller. I was stressed to the hilt, miserable as all hell, practically suicidal, and decided to do it anyway, with no training whatsoever. No training at all. I jogged the first 5-7 kilometers, and the rest of it I walked. And I was too fucking stubborn not to keep going, and finished the 42 kilometers in around about 4 hours or something. I don't even know if I've got an official time because the timekeeping all kind of finished and all of that kind of crap. But I finished and I got my medal. Yesterday felt the exact same, and it was only something like 4 kilometers, but it was uphill and downhill. It was.
You're comparing this little walk through the bush.
Yeah, I'm comparing this little walk through the bush to a marathon. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I felt so fat and unfit as my husband is blazing the trail ahead of me. He plods. He has this particular walk. I put it down to his head injury. He has this particular walk to save his back, be economical with his energy, and purposeful in his foot placement. So all of that overthinking makes it look slightly unnatural. And, you know, don't have any issues with that. It's just something that I observed about him when we first met. And I said, you've had a brain injury, haven't you? Or something where you can tell you've had a brain injury because you've relearned to walk. You don't walk as a natural gait anymore. And he's kind of going, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I've, I explained it to him umpteen times. He'd never ever realised that that was a thing, I don't think, until I mentioned it. And then it was like, oh. Anyway. So yes, finish the walk.
And the whole trick is not to change speed.
Yeah, the whole trick is not to change speed. So every time I kept stopping, he would wait for me 50 paces up the hill kind of thing. And then there was a couple of times, thank God, he's saying, toadstool, toadstool. I have a friend of mine, Jo, who goes mushroom hunting. And she takes pictures with a DSLR of mushrooms when she's out and about. And I have never found any myself. Well, yesterday I found heaps. And with my trusty little OnePlus 5T, I was taking pictures of mushrooms and they came out pretty damn good for a phone. And I was so chuffed. So, lots of wins, I suppose. Now, the other win... Oh, well, it wasn't a win because I came home and... Seriously, I was so freaking sore. All I wanted to do was sit in the car seat. And then all I wanted to do was try and stop the nerve pain. And I wasn't even getting there. So I came home and I lay on the bed and could not stop the nerves from firing and going absolutely spastic. And husband asked me what I wanted to do at some point, and I said, don't talk to me, can barely move, blah blah. And he said, right, you're having a bath. So he threw me in the bath and I stayed there for, I don't know, 20 minutes before it was like, no, screw this, I'm so uncomfortable, I can't deal. So I got out of the bath, but between lying on the bed, the bath, the time, trying to decompress my back, as in going from standing to lying down, trying to decompress that, the pain did kind of abate. Well, today, I'm loath to say, because I feel like I'm going to jinx myself, there is slightly less of the nerve pain, which is kind of good. My calves hurt like a bugger. I don't give a shit about muscle soreness at all. Muscle soreness is a win in my book. I've done a workout, right? So I don't really care about that. That's good. That's good pain. And the nerve pain, it's still there, but it has been slightly better. It could be because of all the steps that I was doing. It could be that I was engaging my core much more during this walk, and it could be that I need to get my fat ass off my seat more. I don't know. I certainly don't want to go finding stairs every week. What was that? I said I need to get my fat ass off my seat. Oh, he said not to think of myself as a fat ass, but as a bad ass. Isn't he sweet? Look, seriously, this guy back, he's in the kitchen chopping up the food for the roast, but I swear he is my champion. And
Who's the champion?
you. I'll make him blush now in a minute. But seriously, whenever I put myself down, he will build me back up again. He's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah. Jeez, yeah, I've been so lucky with him. So yeah, no, I'm not going to be in any great hurry to do this walk quite like that again. I would love to go up and maybe do the first, I don't know, 400 meters after it rains, to get both Secret Falls, Myrtle Falls, and a couple of the hidden gems, because there are these little kind of not gully areas, but flatter areas where the river spreads out quiet, and it's just these little falls. They're so pretty. And look, I don't know, I know I see things differently from other people. I know I see things in photography different from other people, and it's something that I absolutely love, which kind of makes the brain ping and all of that kind of thing, if that makes any sense in the world to you. You know, you get some people who have to take the photo. I may have talked about this before, but they take the photo and then they will post edit it and do all this kind of crap. Well, I edit in camera. If I see the shot in camera, I will take the shot in camera. So I'll get the zoomed in. I will use the camera for what it can do. So yesterday I was zooming in at more than 2 times. Most of it was either one kind of as is photo, or I was zooming it in 2 times. I don't know what the hell that means from an optic range or anything else. It's digital zoom on the camera. Sorry, on the phone. This is a phone camera. Can we get this straight? It's a 15 megapixel camera, I think, from memory. One of the criteria I had when Marcus was upgrading me from the iPhone was it had to have a better camera. The iPhone 6, I think I have. It's here, like 6 Plus. So it's a big size, same size as my phone, but it's a 6 Plus. Haven't used it for 5 years, and its bragging rights back then was it had a phenomenal camera. I wanted a camera that was better. Okay, now I think Samsung and the iPhones now have some pretty good cameras, triple lenses and all that kind of thing. Well, it got to the point where yesterday I was trying to hold the camera upside down, trying to figure out which corner the camera lens was in to try and get this photo of a toadstool at the right angle. And I got the camera, I got the shot. I was going through the phone last night and today...
You can actually just press the power button as the shutter button.
No, power button shuts my phone off. I hit the volume button. I've set it up for the volume button. Oh. So that's why I was holding it that way. My husband's kind of going, what are you doing? And I'm going, no, because he's going, you're holding it all kinds of wrong. Because he uses the power button to take the picture. I use the volume button.
You can change the setting.
Yeah, thanks. Yes. So... yeah, got some awesome photos. Missed a couple of crackers. There was a couple with the toadstools that I missed, and I'm a little bit miffed at that. And there was a spider that he pointed out that was clambering around the place, and it literally dashed out of the shot and moved too fast for my camera. And again, sunglasses dripping wet. Every time I stopped, the sweat would be pouring off me. The beads of water were running down the inside of my glasses. These are the worst sunglasses I could ever have ordered. They're prescription lenses, and they are a glass lens, and they're too freaking heavy for the job. That's my problem. Bad decision. I should have got them extra thin, and I didn't. I tried cost cutting. Don't. I'm never going to do that again. I am due to get another pair of glasses, actually 1.5 years, probably 2 years ago. So, yeah, let's see if we've got some more drills here. Because I'm running low. 961. So yeah, that was some of the tale of the walk, but oh geez. Yeah, I'd love to get back to see the kangaroos in the evening. That would be really cool. Wallabies. Marcus was in the kitchen today. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He was in the kitchen, looking out the window, not doing anything in particular. I think I was recording my floss tube for the month, and he shouts, "There's a wallaby in the next door neighbour's garden, back garden, sunning himself." I step up and can't see anything. Out onto the deck, can't see anything. Walk up to the edge of the deck, and there's a frickin' huge male lying in the neighbour's backyard, kind of under the clothesline, just lying there, minding his own business. Sitting there for a little while, I'm watching this. He's lying down with his head up. The only thing is his head is up. He yawns. Great big yawn. And then he sits up. And I've got a couple of these photos, which I'll be showing as I'm talking. So he's going from lying down. So he sits straight up and I realise, okay, you're a big boy. There's no pouch, there's no Joey, there's, you know, it's all boy. And he looks around and I'm kind of talking and the kid comes out with Sophie and, you know, we're watching the wallaby and then, I don't know, Sophie cracks the shits and the kid gets bored looking at the wallaby. I don't know how you can. Anyway, they go back inside. Sophie pitches a fit and the wallaby just gets up and goes from standing up nice and tall, lies down on the other side and then starts eating some grass. What the? The neighbour doesn't have a gate into their backyard, and I'm sure we would be the same if we didn't have a gate in our backyard. So the wallabies actually go into his grass garden, backyard, lawn. Like, we're talking... Sorry? They get in between two hedges, down a little... You said he doesn't have a gate?
He does.
I don't think he does. I don't think he closes it. I'll have to investigate this. Anyway, we have a hedge around our garden. It's wild as all hell, but there's a gap between the back of our hedge and his scrubby bits of plants. And I thought he had a gate. I thought he closed the gate, but maybe not. Anyway, the wallabies go in there quite frequently. We've actually got them with two of them in there. And the wallabies actually come up around where Mocha is. We actually had, Sophie and I went out to feed the cats this morning. Sorry, I'm talking and not diamond painting because I'm getting distracted. It's like wallabies. It's all exciting. The cats' food outside their pen, because they're outdoor cats, had all been kind of scraped through and was all, you know, recently tilled by some creature. Possibly a wallaby going through the undergrowth, dirt and everything else for loose cat food pellets. Now, our neighbour across the road, Lynn, actually puts roo food out for them at certain times of year, especially when there's no water. I think she might even keep water available to the kangaroos, or the wallabies, sorry. Yeah, he keeps on yelling at me. So I know they regularly live kind of down the back of her house, down in the gully. We did hear, I heard, something rustling yesterday in the scrub as we were walking down the main fire trail. And at one point the kid had stopped on the trail and was looking into the bush. And she said, oh, I could hear rustling. But she didn't actually see anything either. And they were all making too much noise, so it would have been interesting if we would have seen something anyway. The amount of noise we were making. Didn't see any snakes. It was too wet and cold, I think, for snakes in this part of the wood. But it was, I don't know, 19 degrees. I'm not going to call. I will. Hey Google, what's 19 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit?
19 degrees Celsius is equivalent to 66.2 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, right. The two of you can now shut up. Right, 66, okay, in the 60s, right? So it was, for us, a really, really pleasant day. It was t-shirt weather, as I would even wear a t-shirt. I was even wearing a t-shirt. I actually had the t-shirt and I had the skivvy underneath it, which I peeled off and let sit around my waist under my t-shirt. It was really, really nice. And in the undergrowth of the canopy, you weren't in the direct sun. It was beautiful. It wasn't hot, it wasn't humid. It was just a perfect temperature to sweat like a pig going up a mountain. We broke out at one point along the path. Some of the trees cleared and you could see the organ pipes. Again, yeah. My husband says the core of the volcano. The organ pipes, if you look at the Mount Wellington from the city, is this rock face that covers a big chunk of it. It's basically these vertical, I think it's basalt. No, it's not basalt.
Edge of the core.
He says it's the edge of the core. It's not lava or anything, but it is a particular kind of rock. But it's vertical. It's not basalt. It's not like Giant's Causeway or anything like that. But it is this vertical pipe work. It looks like organ pipes. And we could see that, yeah. Kid didn't know what it was called. And I was like, okay. Anyway, I'll stop. So that was nice. We were very close to it. I don't think I've ever been to Junction Cabin. I may be wrong there. We may have been up in previous life. But when we broke out onto the top fire trail, there was Junction Cabin was nearby. If we'd had a backpack, we could have had some lunch there and then walk back down. But we didn't, so we kept pushing back to the car. It was really nice. Had signal the whole way. Not that that really mattered when all you're taking is photos. But Heather's messaging me on the way back down going, hey, is everything okay? Because you've been off the web. Yeah, so I was chatting to her and sending her pictures of the walk down the fire trail and me sweaty going, this is where we are on the trail. And this is where we've got to get to. And we're tired and we're sore and we're hungry and we're thirsty and please send help. Oh, it was funny, sort of. The problem is if you stop, you can't get going again. I have done that. I have been there. I have done that. You don't do that. Don't ever stop thinking you're going to get going again. Because that's when the blisters kick in. That's when the feet start to swell up. And I've done too many hikes to be too stupid. Yes. But it was like, some of it was kind of like, if it was raining, yeah, it would have been miserable as sin. But it was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I tried taking a picture, again, through the trees. You could see Hobart underneath you. You know, I'm going to have to find out the walk. I actually have got a map of Mount Wellington and its trails. It's a national park, okay? So there is a particular map that shows all of these rabbit trails, for want of a better word, fire trails and everything else. And you can't get it online. It is paper only, as far as I know. And none of these full waterfall pages show you a map trail or anything else. Tell you complete distances or anything. And if I had my map, or at least had looked at my map, I probably wouldn't have done what we had done yesterday. But the bonus was all these little hidden falls. Trained?
Oh, sorry. If you had been set a task, let's cycle 5k, let's say.
Yeah. He's saying if I had... He's saying if I had known how much effort was involved... He's saying if I knew what was involved in it in the first place, I wouldn't have done it. That's not true. But I probably would have prepared a little bit better. I would have taken the water with me. I would have made sure we had food maybe for nibbles or something. Maybe even left and gone to Junction Cabin for that bit of a break. And I don't know if there's a view from Junction Cabin or not. But yeah, I mean, I've done some of the falls around the mountain, but I thought we would be able to do these 2 little falls and then go and drive somewhere else and do another couple of falls and that kind of thing. No, we were beat. It was like, nope, we're all toast. We went to McDonald's. My husband's kind of going, let's go and get an ice cream from home. And I'm going... And the kids, I think the kid had actually said something along the lines of, can we get an ice cream? And Marcus is going, yeah, you can either get an ice cream at home or we can get an ice cream out. And she's going, can we have an ice cream and a cone? And I'm kind of thinking, Marcus suggested it, sorry. So there was the toss-up between the ice cream on a stick or ice cream and a cone. And I was kind of thinking cold rock kind of ice cream. And it was like, oh, no, hang on. McDonald's do soft serves. They're 70 cents for a soft serve. You know the little... I don't know. Do you know? It's the cup cone. So it's got the point chopped off. So it's the little cup cone. It's a soft serve of ice cream. It's 70 cents each. And we go to the drive-thru. He hasn't got a clue what the hell he's doing. He's too mean to get fast food. The kid in the back chips up going, oh, you pay at the next counter. I'm kind of going, how often do you go get fast food? You know, at the opposing house. Yeah. You know, because she's familiar with how it all works. Anyway, husband was not familiar how the drive-through worked and all of that kind of thing. It's a brand new restaurant. It's only been there about 5 years. Anywho, we get our soft serves. I lick the top off for Sophie, hand her the soft serve, her first cone. She gets stuck into it and starts dripping everywhere, so I have to take it back off her to her screaming. Clean it, push the ice cream down, and give it back to her, and she's happy again. And she gets through most of it, and then when we get home, she tosses what was left to Maka. She's afraid of Maka. Maka's quite a waggy, because he's all excited when he sees me. He doesn't jump on her or anything. He jumps up on the seat, because he actually sleeps on what's left of this seat. But he gets all excited. He wags a lot, and he's kind of like, you know, Mom, it's you, and happy to see me, and all that kind of thing. So she's got a bit kind of flighty with him. So yeah, she threw the ice cream down, just out of his reach, the poor dog. But he got the cone. You've seen the videos of the dogs eating the ice cream cones? Yeah, dogs like ice cream cones. So quite happy to give him that as a treat. So everyone got a treat yesterday. It was all kinds of cool. Yeah, got...
How have you recovered, dear?
Sorry?
How have you recovered?
My husband is asking how I've recovered. My calves are still sore. I stayed in bed until, I don't know, 9:30, 10. I was watching Rachel's floss tube this morning in bed.
While everybody else was up working.
No, only you were working.
All day, as usual.
Oh my god. The martyr Marcus is coming out now. He made me coffee with the AeroPress. I think the seal is gone on our coffee machine, so he used the AeroPress for the first time, and I don't think he rates it quite that much. It wasn't as sweet as our coffee machine, because it doesn't have a crema. That could be him. I don't know. I might give it a go tomorrow, because I've got to be up for a doctor's appointment on the phone, so I might as well be up and maybe make the coffee in the morning. But he stretched the milk same way on the coffee machine, because there's nothing wrong with that one. That part of the machine, because the machine is in kind of 2 parts. So, yeah, we have 2 other coffee machines. The seal has gone on my old one, and I can't remember what was wrong with the other one.
No, both yours.
Well, they were both mine. Oh.
This one's my $23 one.
This is his cheapie and my $700 one. Both of them packed it in at the same... Yeah. They both packed it in round about the same length of time with the seal, and they could only scrape out the seal twice before, or once before it couldn't be replaced.
This one's the one that cost me $23.80.
This was cheap as chips for him, and it's lasted him all this time. Have to say, it probably wasn't used half as much as when I came along. So now we're beating the damn thing to death, and we've killed it. Half of it at least. So he thinks he's going to be able to replace the seal and fix it. $20. Oh, $20. He's already priced it.
No, I reckon it's about...
He reckons it's about $20. And a whole heap of sweat.
I might even have a spare here.
Oh my god, he thinks he has a spare. I should put him on mic, because he's in the kitchen.
You only say that every time.
Yeah. He so wants to be on YouTube.
No.
And then he goes, no, he doesn't. Yeah.
No, too shy.
Too shy and retiring. Poor little flower. Oh god. Oh, I did, Beth, I saw that, I don't know if Beth actually watches my videos, but I saw that you had Mr. Beth, Edward, on video today. I can't wait to catch up with that one. I'm looking for a stray hourglass. It's gone. I can't see the thing. I'm blind. I know it's here. There's one left. I thought it was in the middle. Okay, let's get methodical. Oh, you pig of a thing. It's gone. There it is. See? Right in the middle where I thought it was. News from the home front. Haven't heard from them. Heard from my son up in Sydney yesterday. He was giving out to me about drivers not giving him space and sending me pictures of said drivers not giving him space, and then berating the police, saying that they didn't know what the hell they were doing because a traffic cop seemed to think it was alright, when it's not, for him to cycle on the footpath as a road bike. He was commuting home and apparently somebody came that little bit close to him. And I kind of said, well, you can't do any damage to the car if it passes too close to you, but you should be able to do something that kind of affects the next time that they do pass a cyclist. So, I don't know, tag their car, for instance. My husband was going, you could get a spray can and spray their car. I say maybe you could have a flag that was out the side. He was suggesting that maybe he gets Kevlar knuckles, like a motorbike knuckle, and bang the car because it's within arm's reach. He's got long arms, but he's still within a meter. It's like, yeah, you need to do something. We think he's going to be a temporary Australian at this rate because he's road riding, and it is so dangerous when a car comes into contact with a cyclist, and it's going to be a coronial matter to change the laws to say if you see a bike on the road, they have priority and back the fuck off. At the moment, the rule is apparently a meter under 60 kilometers and 1.5 meters girth width from them over that speed. In New South Wales, there is a kind of, he's got cameras front and back on him now, and the cops are kind of saying, oh, that doesn't, we can't tell that that's a meter. And I'm kind of thinking, I'm looking at this picture and it shows the edge of the road. It shows this perfectly beautiful yellow line. It doesn't show where Simon is on the bike, but it shows the car, and you can easily tell it's within a meter. And not within a meter of the cyclist, within a meter of the frickin' line. So I'm pissed. Mother is pissed. It's like, you know, within half a meter of him. And two other cars had also gone past, giving him plenty of girth. So you can see that this person was not paying any frickin' attention. And it's just like, I'm going to educate you. Somebody is going to fucking educate you with the coronial because they killed them. They killed a cyclist. This has happened before. I think this is where the 1.5 meter thing has come from. This is where these rules come from. They come from coroner's courts making a decision to put the baby to sleep on their back because too many babies die in cots. Ah! Soapbox. I don't want my son to die. He's had 2 open heart surgeries. He's had enough, thanks very much. And he went head over tit over a car because some stupid bitch didn't look where she was going on it, driving out of a driveway, and he was riding along the road with a light on or something, and he would have been high vis. It's like, Look, to be honest, I felt the same when I was on my motorbike. People do not bloody see you. And every day I was on the bike with the cars, I was riding so defensively going, you don't see me, you don't see me, you don't see me, you don't fucking see me. And I'd let them know. But I have a great big horn on my bike, and I've got a fucking big engine under my feet, or under my legs, under my butt, to get me out of that situation, hopefully. And you kind of hope that you get the training to say how you ride defensively. And that is, ride as if everyone else is a fuckwit on the road. I apologise for the swearing. I'm probably going to have put a disclaimer on the front of this. Sorry, not sorry. Seriously, there are some things that I'm super passionate about, and bad driving.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not all out to get you.
No, the husband said, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're all out to get you. Being on a motorbike, right, not all out to get you. Anyway, being on a motorbike made me a much better driver. And it should be compulsory in my mind for every person getting a car license to do a motorbike learner's ride around car park and a little bit on the road. Compulsory, because it would make them better drivers. Yeah. He says it's not realistic. Well, if it's not realistic, they shouldn't be on the road in the first place. Maybe they could be put into a virtual machine that's good enough.
Considering the percentage of motorbike riders, I think it was so much easier just to outlaw motorbikes.
He wants to outlaw motorbikes. He wants a slap around the ear. Riding a motorbike is... Seriously, I have got on my motorbike and ridden from my home from when I was across the river. Ridden from my home and ridden over what's called the causeway. I've missed an arrow. The causeway is a swamp-like area, and in a car you don't smell anything. So I'm riding down this causeway and start getting this smell, and it's warm. It's a warm day. Okay, so I've got a t-shirt, I think, under my summer jacket, and I get this smell of, I don't know, methane, manure, shit. It's not exactly a pretty smell, but I tell you what, you could not get the fucking grin off my face. It was amazing. You're so much more in the environment on the bike as you are in a car. And yeah, the grin on my face, and I'm just grinning to myself. It was awesome. This was the time when I had a Yamaha Virago. It was only a little 250. My golly, this baby took me to Canberra and back. And it didn't just take me to Canberra and back. It took me to Canberra with, I don't know, 800 other riders. And I came back from Canberra up in the ACT, up near towards Sydney. Came back on my own solo through the middle of the country with recommendations of where to go to from a good friend of mine who is now living up the bog end of Queensland or something, or Northern Territory. And oh, it was absolutely incredible being able to ride. Now, ultimately I got a bigger bike, and then I got major depression and stopped riding because I actually didn't know if I was riding into work one day, had a bad day at work, or had the X trigger me while I was out, or had the X trigger me before I went to work, that I wouldn't have totaled myself. So I put myself off the road. The bike was also... I wasn't in a good place. The bike was getting heavy. I was then losing my confidence. I was making stupid mistakes. And I felt I was just going to do myself more harm than anything else. I dropped the bike, I think, 2 times and needed help picking it up again and that kind of thing. Other than that, I love the bike, but it was too tall for me. I'm only a short arse. And if I was to get a bike again... The riding position was brilliant. It was a Honda DeVille, which had built-in panniers. Beautiful bike. Too high. I did think about getting it lowered, but I ended up getting my boots raised instead by a centimetre. They built a stack into my heel. One of the bike shops here do that. And it still wasn't really enough to give me the confidence. And... the difference between riding the Yamaha Virago, I installed a windscreen shield. If I can find my photos on Google, I'll insert them here if I can think of it around about the hour mark to go back and listen, because at this point I usually let the editing just do its thing because I don't have anything to add in, so I'll try and remember around the hour mark motorbike. And don't mind that, that's husband making gravy mulch with the vegetables. So went from the Virago, which is it's a Yamaha Harley, looks like a Harley Davidson. It's a low, it's not a cruiser. It's a particular style of bike. Brain. Anyway, it looks like a Harley Davidson, you know, without the poke. It's only a little 250, for goodness sake. And you sit with your feet forward. The Honda DeVille had fairings around the front of your knees that, you know, that protected you. And the windshielding was phenomenal. I should have shortened this baby. I should have actually shortened the suspension. It might have made the ride a little bit harder, but by golly, the DeVille was just a gorgeous bike. It had a short screen. It was beautiful. It was a friend of mine's bike, a man I have great respect for, and I bought it off him. And yeah, with a bit of confidence, I loved it. Simon used to ride the bike when he got his bike license, and it was perfect for him. He has long legs. He's like, I don't know, a foot taller than me. I don't know where two short parents get one tall child. As I said, my ex said he was never around for his conception, so yeah, go figure. There was a tall milkman somewhere in Ireland with red hair, if you believe that story. So yeah, lost my confidence, and I would love to get a motorbike again, but again, I'm kind of going, oh, I'm old, oh, I've got Sophie, oh, drivers are idiots, and would I do it? And in some respects, yeah, I'd absolutely love to. He's chipping in the background, and I don't know if you can hear him or not. He's being rude about Chinese being terrible drivers. They are Asians. Seriously, Asians who come over here as tourists can't drive for shit. And if you... Yeah. The ones who get here cannot drive for shit. They are terrible. There's a couple of criteria here. There's driving while old, driving while Asian, and driving whilst elderly, and then driving while elderly and Asian. I know it's not complimentary, but you know it. If you've got an old parent who can't drive for shit anymore, who may have been a perfectly competent driver, it's scary as all hell. And you can. It's quite uncanny. You get a bad driver here and you go, oh my god, they can't drive for shit. They could be dancing on their brake. They could be in and out of the lane. They could be doing something just that little bit, what the hell are you doing kind of attraction. And you get up to them and they're an Asian. Invariably. I've never seen, no, actually I have seen some bad Australian driving, but invariably these kind of bad drivers are Asian. It is scary as hell. Anyway, the problem is that they come in here with their international licenses. They can drive on their international license without transferring it into Tasmania. So they're coming here, never going through any kind of driver ed, never going through any local training. And they just think that they can drive, and they really can't. They are not used to the driving situation.
And very well be lovely.
And they'll be here for 4 years on the same international permit when they're not allowed. They have to transfer within 3 months, and they don't transfer because they're students.
They could be lovely, lovely people, but they just can't drive.
Yeah. It's not a slight on the people; it's a slight on their driving. Their driving is terrible, and predictably bad. It is quite scary being on the road. And husband drives me to work in the mornings, then drives the kid to the school in the morning, then drives the kid to the school in the afternoon, and then drives to get me in the afternoon. It's not like he's not on the road quite a bit. And I used to drive all the time in my job. So you would see them all the freaking time. And they'd all tell you, oh no, I'm only here on a student visa. And they get away with not transferring their license. They'd never be tested. They'd never prove that they can actually drive to the Tasmanian standard. And I have to say, there are Melbourne drivers and Victorian drivers. You can pick them a mile off as well. Okay, so we're not just picking on the Chinese. They can drive in straight lines. When they see a corner, they panic.
Let's not talk about Volvo drivers.
And Volvo drivers, if you're from the UK, you know the Volvo joke, don't you? You know, it's like, oh, we have a bridge over the Derwent River. It's got 5 lanes. The middle lane of the 5 changes with traffic flow. So in the morning it's 3 lanes into the city, in the evening it's 3 lanes out of the city, and it changes. Yeah, people panic on that too. The lanes are quite small, especially when the cars are getting bigger. The lanes have got smaller, and the lanes haven't changed size in the decades that this bridge has been up.
It wasn't always 5 lanes, love.
No, yeah, it wasn't always 5 lanes apparently. But traffic flow is such that they've had to. He reckons that they've widened it. I need you to stop chipping in because I can't do the 2 conversations.
Oh, sorry, let me just finish that one off. Real quick then. They widened it after some inconsiderate boat knocked the bridge down.
They widened the bridge after it was knocked down in 1972 by the Lake Illawarra, when the captain who was on board, who may or may not have been drunk, decided to go straight for the pillar instead of going through the 2 pillars. So he hit the bridge, took out a pillar, took out a chunk of bridge up above it, and however many cars were on it, and the cement that fell onto the ship went onto the ship 20 meters down. She's still down there. They left the bodies and everything else down there. It's quite a horrific Hobart local story.
The bridge is a mile long, by the way.
The bridge is a mile long across this stretch of river, but it's not an inconsiderate bridge. They ended up building floating bridges and blah blah blah. Incat became famous, and hence me coming to Tasmania. That was another story in another Whip and Chat. No, I don't know which one it was. If you want to find out what story that was in, go through all of my Whip and Chats. Because I'm sure I went over the story of how I got to Tasmania. It might be in one of my earlier, like the first 10.
It was all because of the Illawarra.
It was all because of the Lake Illawarra. Anyway, she's still down there, and they only ever close the bridge when a ship is going under it now. 30 years later, nothing else has happened to the bridge, but they still shut the bridge. Anyway. They schedule boats not to go through it in rush hour as well. And if a car breaks down on the bridge, oh, holy smoke, it's just bedlam. No, it doesn't. It's free tow truck.
What?
It's free tow off the bridge during peak hour. What? No. Not in peak hour. No. You have the occasional idiot who will think that it's fun to do donuts up on top of the bridge in the middle of the night. Usually stolen cars or other joyrides. Little do they know there's actually cameras up on the bridge so the rego gets clipped, and they invariably get caught, or somebody on dash cam happens to be driving over going, oh, there's an idiot, and pass it on to the police, and the police go, hello, hello. And they book them. That has happened. There was famous donuts left on the bridge one night, and the somebody who was driving past actually spotted them, got the rego, dobbed them into the police. Police knock, 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 and they were booked, and it was all over the media that they were booked. It was like, yes, go! It was awesome. Yeah. Ah, dear, the little joys when the scroats get caught. So yeah, okay. Oh, this week, Friday. Friday was a little bit of a down day for me. Friday, my work colleague who suicided was buried. The service had to wait for one of his sons to come down from the mainland and quarantine. He actually got out of quarantine jail, he said, whatever, a day or so before. It was an awesome service. One of his best mates who spoke did such a good job. The montage of photos, they were 3 songs long, like Foo Fighters and other things. It was 3 songs long, and it was awesome. He was a lovely, lovely guy, and he fought so hard for everything to do with the job and the people in it, more the people in it. He fought so hard for the people in the job. And for PTSD to take him out just sucked balls. Yeah, PTSD is nasty. So I put up a picture of the only black bitch that I know and like, animal wise, black dog. Okay, let's not cast aspersions here. Yeah, put a photo up of my dog Mizzen, who died many years ago, but I wanted something a bit more cheerful to think of when I think of the black dog and depression taking friends, because to think of just to get stuck in that spiral is not good. Yes, if I could get my hands on a black spaniel again. I actually went and looked at breeders years ago, and the wait list was ridiculously long for Cocker Spaniels. She was a pound puppy. Found her in the pound and had her, oops, and had on your side of the bed, dear, had her and Latte, my, sorry, not Latte, Bailey, my golden retriever, as the pals, the blonde and the black, and she was my gem. She was awesome. She was really, she was a good size. She was just a fantastic dog. The personality, the face, the everything. Anyway, she was awesome. So I think what I'll do is I will collage a picture with her, and whenever we do get another PTSD death, because it's gonna happen, I suppose, at some point, I'll put a picture of her up to spare the solemnness, I guess, and still honor the friend. Anyway, moving on. Now, fun fact. Everyone is professing this blue moon at Halloween, etc., etc. Tasmania didn't get a blue moon. And neither did Queensland. Because Queensland are an hour behind us. And neither would have Sydney or Victoria, because they're on the same time as us. So, November has a blue moon. Apparently the blue moon peaked, sorry, the second full moon of October. The full moon actually peaked at 10 to 1 in the morning in Queensland, which is an hour behind us, so 10 to 2 in the morning in Tasmania. So our blue moon, our full moon, is actually on All Saints Day in Tasmania, for all of you pagans. It's like, Yabu sucks to be you, kind of thing. You got your dates wrong for your full moon, but it's okay. November actually has a blue moon now for Tasmania, because you get a full moon every 28 days, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. So yeah, interesting. But I had to send a message to my friend who took a picture of said full moon and gave us this little insight of information, and I kind of said, hey, is this true? And he messaged me back and was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And yeah, kind of, yeah, boo sucks to you who are saying it was blue moon, but it's still a blue moon in the States and that kind of thing, because it peaked, you know, the same time around the world. I don't know, yeah. Timelines. Oh dear. Alright. Now, DP World. I know I don't necessarily have a huge viewership. I wish I had more. Please pass on that I'm here if you like them. But for those people who are watching me who don't maybe watch other people or haven't got this information from other people, let's talk immediate dates. The DP-a-thon is on next weekend. The DP-a-thon is on 7th, 8th, and for the Australians, 8th, 9th November. I will be on, well, I was going to say about this time in a week, but it's actually going out this on Wednesday, so disregard that. But yes, I will be on Sunday afternoon my time, live for an hour and a half if you want to come join me. It is 10:30 Eastern Standard Time stateside, and which would be an hour Central Standard Time. Before that's 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and they're 3 hours behind, so 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, give or take, if we got that correct. Okay, so DP-a-thon next weekend. Please, please come and join the fun. We are talking thankful this month. Marissa has organized this. This is her baby. She does this quarterly. She has the backup of so many people now doing this. I don't think she had any problems having creators join in with her this time around. She has finished all the St. Jude stuff. Then she had the retreat, and now it's like cracking DP-a-thon. Let's just get this sorted, and we did this within a week. Like, literally, the retreat finished a week and a half ago, and she was straight into messaging. People put their hand up, and it was like, right, we're full. I think there's 2 spots in the middle of the night, 2 or 3 spots left in the middle of the night. They could be premieres. If there are still spots and you're interested, Marissa, hit her up. You might be able to do a premiere instead of an actual live. All a premiere means is a WiPnChat that you put up as a premiere, which means that the live chat is open, which is exactly how the Christmas premieres played last year.
While you're recording the live.
Yeah, you're recording. No, you record in advance, but your live chat is open, like a live chat. So people can talk in the back, in the peanut gallery.
In advance.
Yeah.
And then you get to talk
to people. Whether or not your creator is in the chat with you remains to be seen. Stitcherista didn't join in hers. That kind of thing. Doesn't matter. It's not about you having to be there for the Christmas premieres. Different story. Yes, I need to get the Christmas premieres organized. I need to do my invitation and get the interest and get my head in the gear, work out some spreadsheets and all of that kind of jazz. What else do I need to do? But that's probably it from what I need to do. Now, retreats. You have seen, no doubt, that it was the retreat to beat all retreats for the very first retreat. I'm going to keep saying that word and trip over myself. There were 10, 12 people at the retreat. Nobody got any sleep. Crashly was as crazy as she is. I would love to have been there, guys. I can't even say girls because Billy was there too. Billy, where did you come from? You kind of snuck up from nowhere and suddenly it's like Billy is there and he's doing awesome. And it's like, okay. Hi, Billy. Anyway, the retreats. There are two next year. The first one is in June in, let me get the states right. Mindy, where Mindy lives, the Great Lakes, Michigan in June. Go and check out her channel for information on the retreats. I think the spaces are already filling fast. There is a second retreat going to be in October in Missouri, and that is the Marissa kind of retreat. Mindy and the girls are organizing, and it's the same girls to be honest, are organizing the Michigan retreat. But there are 2 retreats, both in the middle of the states, give or take a left a bit, because I looked on the map to see where they were and when they were and all that kind of thing. So there are forms. Go and check out the channels. Marissa is the Crafty Heifer. If you have any problems finding her channel, please talk to me and I will make sure that you get linked so that you can fill in the form for interest. They do need to take deposits to secure places, and they will take partial payments for the rest of the year to get you in on the retreat. So if you are interested, if you have the capacity, if you are crafty in any way, Okay, now if you hear Marissa talking about her retreat, she took her sewing machine, she took her cross stitch. I can't remember if she said she took knitting, but she's maybe quilting. She took all of her crafts except crochet. Okay? Do not think that because you're not a diamond painter, you can't go. Okay? If you are a crafter, if you're slightly mad, if you don't mind being with very mad people, and singing Hamilton, and God knows what else went on at the retreat that we don't know about, because what stays at the retreat stays at the retreat. They had so much fun. It was so much fun for us, for me, who's over in Australia and hasn't got a hope in hell of getting to any kind of retreat like that in a hurry. So much fun to have been a part, for them to have included us in any of that retreat stuff. So please go and check out the girls' lives. Jennifer, DP Addiction Adventures, did videos. Crafts with Crashly, Ashley did videos. Marissa, I think, did videos. I think Tia did videos. They've all spoken about it. They've all praised heaven and each other. Nana with 7 Crafts was there. There were a couple of people who weren't creators there. They weren't allowed to go live from the venue. Don't know why. That was one of the rules. I will lay bets it's probably because of the shenanigans that they would get up to, and maybe people thought that that would give the retreat places bad reputations. Who knows? I don't know. And apparently some guy took a dump outside of the window, and Nana got to see all the glory that was available for that one. Go check out the videos. He's not on video, just a story.
Oh, gosh.
God.
I thought you talked about some real nuggets of information there.
No, just an idiot who doesn't care where he drops his gear.
No, don't get the nuggets.
Anyway. It's a bit sad when you pull up next to a building and you have to feel like that's what you do, rather than, I don't know, ringing a doorbell and kind of saying, hey, look, I'm passing through, can I use your toilet? Is that not a thing? But no, I'll just take a dump, and who gives a shit what, excuse me, who cares who sees it, and don't clean up after it. So yeah, gross. Seriously, you're an animal. Ugh. Anyway, I don't know how far it is. I mean, I know Marissa says that driving through Texas is a long drive. Now listen, this is something I don't quite understand, right? Australia and America are actually physically the same size. I have driven across Australia. Sophie's awake.
Very quietly. Hang on.
She stopped.
Flopsy's playing.
Oh, Flopsy might come and tell me something. Anyway. Yeah, I've driven across Australia. It takes 2 days. I don't know what takes so long over in the States to get across the States.
The roads are windier and they've got more hills.
You reckon the roads are windier and got more hills? I think you're a clown. Okay, we have an 80-mile stretch in Australia. Seriously, what takes so long to get across the States?
Borders.
There is no borders. There are no borders even. They don't have state border control. You just drive. Maybe you have too many small towns to go through. See, in Australia, you bypass all of the towns. You just, like, okay, there's a town name, and it's got a service station, and it's got a motel that's a flea pit. Chuka. Don't stop there. Just keep going. That's all I'm saying. Oh my lord. They don't have fresh vegetables. They don't have rain. They've got nothing but dirt and flies. Yeah, but even Dave and Amber driving from North Dakota down to Alabama took hours and hours and hours, and Dave drove through the night. I'm kind of thinking, it just seemed to be so long. And the first time he actually did this, I think he went on chat with us, maybe live or something, but I know that I was talking to him on the first trip down, I think, to meet Amber. Gosh, they have such a mushy start to their relationship. It's all kind of cute. even though it was like, be careful, be careful, be careful from the rest of us. And, you know, we didn't want to see either of them hurt. But it was all kinds of cute. But yeah, we were kind of in video contact with him at the start of the drive, and then in video contact with him when it was the middle of the US night, but I was still up, so I kind of video chatted with him for, you know, a bit of the trip, keeping him awake and stuff. But he used to do truck driving. Yeah, still baffles me that it takes so long to get across anywhere. But then I've also watched, and I love watching these, the YouTubers who do the drive-alongs. But by golly, your roads are shite. The chunking of the seams and the jolt, and it's not the car's lack of suspension or anything. It's just, they feel nasty. The roads here must be pretty good. The roads in Ireland, you just get country roads, to be honest. And if you're over in Rachel country, you get grass growing down the middle of them because the roads ain't wide enough to get the grass to die. They're fun. I like those green roads. I always loved it when Dad used to take us on those little green roads where the road is so skinny that it's like literally tire track, grass track. Yeah. They were adventures. I think you probably wondered if you were going to get out alive too. And then he'd do the hills, which is funny because Sophie actually does this herself, where you'd go, and then the undulation would make you go, yeah, Sophie does that on the road. She'll just jabber away and suddenly she'll be jabbering in a different tone and it's like, oh, she's waiting for the road. Yeah, and she'll just have this kind of drone waiting for this. Oh, she's funny. Yeah. She's quite, tactile is not quite the word because it's not touch, but she's quite immersive maybe in whatever sensation is going on. So it is a kind of touch, I suppose, but it's a feel as opposed to her fingers touching, you know, for that experience. Yeah, she's a funny kid, but yeah, she's just woken up. Hot, sweaty, hair all over the shop, and probably looking for a pooch. Now that I've mentioned it, or else she's going to come back and go, apple pear, like the little angel of destruction that she is. Cannot get her to part company with the flat roadkill that she's got, Flopsy. Not that we try awfully hard. He minds the car when we go to the shops, so that we're not going to lose him at the shops. Very, very rare occasion she will get to take Flopsy with us indoors that's not the house. If we don't have Flopsy, there is hell to pay. There is no distraction. Actually, Chips might be a good distraction. Nah. But there is no way she'd be able to get to sleep. My phone number has been stitched into him, and I don't think it's been done very well. So I probably need to do it again. The phone number that I wrote on a piece of laundry tag has worn off. A whole bunch of use that is. When I was a kid in boarding school, I used to actually have proper laundry labels that were embroidered. And what I ended up doing was keeping all my laundry tags that we didn't use on my boarding school uniform. And you could just fold in the laundry number and just use them as a name tag. I don't even, they're probably somewhere in my, I was going to say in my sewing kit, but they're not in my sewing kit because my sewing kit's been refurbished into an After Eight tin. I don't know where they'd be. Maybe still in Dad's sewing kit or Mum's old sewing kit. Back at his place. I don't know, I thought I had them because I thought I'd used them since. Maybe even used them at work. So I don't know where they've gone. But they were really cool. And to try and get fabric labels these days, what I always wanted was to be able to go first name, surname, first name with my kids. And in that way, I could fold it to either be that kid or that kid, you know, or whatever. So you're paying kind of two names for whatever, but the deal never seemed to work out quite like that.
Hello.
Gosh. There's the one thing I'll give her. She's punctual in getting back home. The kid has just arrived home.
But we've got there.
I think since she got a watch, but it's not just that. She has always made me proud to know if you tell her a time, she is back within a minute of that time. She's seriously.
I've explained it to her.
Yeah.
That when I say that's the time, it's not the time when you start getting ready. That's the time when you need to be there.
Yeah, she's really good with that. So yeah, she's literally just walked in the door. She needs to do the dishwasher, her lunch, and get the hell out of the kitchen. Because I'm about to wrap up, which means that I'm going to get onto the vegetables to help out with hubby. And see what else needs to get done. Probably the washing up while it's quite small. It's really weird because with my back, like I'm sitting here, I'm quite comfortable. And again, I don't know if it's because of the walk yesterday, engaging the core or not. And I also found that all of the walk that we did yesterday, because it was below a certain mountain level for water catchment, we could have brought the dog. So that would have been nice to do. I do like it when he's involved. I hate that he's always on the fly lead, which is another reason why I wouldn't get another dog, because they'd be on a chain, and you know, it's all well and good for me to chain my dogs after they've been my dogs for years, but to put a brand new dog to me on the chain, no, it's not fair. So Mocha will probably be my last dog until there's a massive lifestyle change. Yeah, I can't be working full time to do that. So, oh, one of the other things that has changed. Do you see my logo down the bottom? Let's see if I can do it this time. Do you see this? It's changed. It's got a coffee cup. I have now got a coffee cup because I have, stand by, got it. I now have a coffee account. Now, what the coffee account means, and I will be checking this out some more. The coffee account is a way for you to be able to effectively pay me money if you like. You can, it's a donation thing. You'll see it on other people's sites. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something with less. Sorry, just checking. I've missed some of them, and I have missed ends before Sophie gets here and puts them all down. What else have I missed? Oh, there's a at. Okay, I think I've got them all now. All right, so yeah, the coffee coffee app website thingamajiggy. It actually has the donate button. That's where I've come across it. But when you go into the coffee account, I can set up a coffee shop, kind of like Etsy, that I really would like to check out, because I'm hearing people having all sorts of issues with Etsy. I'm not liking what I'm seeing with those issues with Etsy. Somebody has been blacklisted on Etsy and been given a shutout or something for 24 hours because they've been shipping their items or something, but not telling Etsy they've been shipping the items. Yet they've got 100% reviews, and because they haven't been doing what Etsy is demanding that they do in the way that they demand, they've blacklisted them. So it's not that they're not doing something, but it's just the way that they're doing it is not quite the Etsy style. Etsy, I've also heard, and I think Rachel would be probably best to maybe get some advice on this. I've also heard that they give priority to places that include free shipping. So if you don't know about the store and you want to be searched, and you've got, let's say for instance, I do cover minders. If I put in needle minders into a search, I'm going to get the free shipping people coming up first rather than the people who charge shipping as extra. Which means that you've got to build in your shipping prices, or you've got to work out your international shippings or whatever it is. And from a point of view of me, if I was to sell, I'm not necessarily going to have a big Australian shop customer. I'm more likely to have a US customer, which means that shipping is going to cost a bit. So I've got to make sure my prices and my time and everything else is covered and all of that kind of jazz. So anyway, I'm going to investigate the coffee shop. See if that's something that might work out, and you never know what you might get in the coffee shop. But there might be, Pippa packages being able to be done. So that's what that's all about. Use the gloves, dear. So yeah, have got an awful lot of, well, I think it's an awful lot of stock. The thing is, it takes time, and this is where I don't want to necessarily be sporadic either, but I've got a full-time job, and I've got to find the ebb and flow of this and everything else, of what I've got, when I can get it, and shipping time. And I've already had some items delivered. Excuse me, I've gone and completely misread these. So I've got a Z and crescent. Right, got one Z. So yeah, the aim, and I don't want to be inconsistent, but I need to just get it ticking and flowing. And yeah, some stock has come in already, as I said. Some stock won't be here until it says December. So again, I have to get the reliability up from that point of view and all of that kind of jazz. So that's where the head's kind of taking me from that. Need to nail the husband. I'm sure if he was listening, he would enjoy that double entendre. Need to nail him down with the idea prototype that I have. We'll see where we go. I only need 3 of you. And then I only get 1. Anywho, so we get too many. Too many is better than not enough. Alright, so next week I have no appointments that I know of. I have a phone call appointment with the GP on Monday morning. Did I already do that? I did. Yeah. Phone call appointment with the GP. They're always simple, so that's going to be smooth sailing. I'll see how I go over the next couple of days. I do know the difference between training soreness and not training soreness. So as I said, the calves, they just need stretches. So I've been stretching them as often as I can, depending on my position and what I'm doing and all of that kind of thing. Doing my physio, which as I said is pain-free, which is good. I've got a 3. Have been modifying what I do things, how I do things in the kitchen. I have been sitting quickly, So I, for instance, will go into the kitchen and will set up everything I need while I'm reasonably pain-free, because my body has been in that neutral nerve position, and I will get everything together and sit as soon as possible so that it's not getting into the aggravated nerve position, which is the standing upright, because my posture is terrible. So I can get things done. So I'll be doing the washing up sitting, and I'll be getting the vegetables cut sitting, and all of that kind of thing. But we have nice high stools, so I can do that, so it's less of an issue. Don't know what else I need to get done. Sorted out the books with Sophie today. Her bookshelves looked like a mess. She doesn't read or go through the books all that often. She does a little bit, but not all that often. We sorted them. So we've got little books and then big books and bigger books on her bookshelf that we look at, or that I look at. Oh yeah, the other thing I did last week, again, because crouching is a thing. I can crouch. I can squat. I took the shears to the jungle that was Mocca's front garden. Because I was leaning over and hacked it to death. And then I said to Mocca, because, you know, he's a dog and he's going to answer me. I said to Mocca, we need a scythe, because that would have been fun. Yeah, I asked him to get the trimmer working, and he actually said, go and get a scissors. You'd probably do more with less effort. So I got the shears instead. Yeah, he's a bastard. Oh, that would explain why my arm was sore the other day. Ah, geez. Mutter, mutter, mutter. He's a man. I have got the right colour. What? Oh, and Mocca said, and the capeweed. Capeweed here is a yellow daisy, and it's the kind of plant that has all the daisy heads kind of hiding at multi-levels. So you chop off the daisy heads, right? You clear them all away. The next day, there's more daisy heads. You chop them. Far out, this plant is unreal. And the actual root set of this plant is just incredible. It goes so deep, and if you leave a tiny bit of the root there, it will come back again. It's like, oh, far out. No, capeweed is particularly nasty. What was the colour? Oh, forget it. I don't have the patience to remember what that was. Oops, N. 2 more. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? I've got 2 colours left. Alright, so it's November. We are down to 2 colours. Let's do the hearts. Let's do the black. Okay, it's November. Alright, this week I need to do my invitation video and send that to the groups and the peoples that I would like to invite to do the Christmas premieres. I really, really want to get that done, because otherwise I'm going to end up stressing and putting it off and just being stupid about that. The pattern drops for Autumn Lane Stitchery, which is all kinds of exciting. We get the boob shots. Not really. We think she's going to have a bust in this pattern. And we get a choice in whether or not she's going to be, I don't know, a shield maiden or an Amazon. I haven't got a clue. The teasing and the joking has been fun, though, and whether or not she's clothed or unclothed, making her G-rated or X-rated, that was something that Rachel said today. The talk has been that she's going to be topless or not. She might have shells on her nipples. Who the hell knows? I don't know how Aaron's mind works, other than he lives with Cassie and she's also kind of crazy like him in good kinds of way. I love them together. They're really, really cool. I also think that it's probably high stress. Hopefully it all works out between them. But anyway, lots of fun. And, like I said, we had the pattern drop, or maybe I didn't. We had the pattern drop for the Harry Potter Chapter 6. It's Patronuses. Oh my god. If you are, in fact, if you're still with me even on this WiPnChat, if you're interested in doing the cunning cross-stitch, Letters from Hogwarts, Harry Potter kind of thing, all the chapters have now been released. It is all online. You do not have to have a Facebook account. I know some people don't have them, don't want them, not interested in them. That's fine. If you want to join in, you can get all of the patterns off the blog now. If you are not a Facebook person and you want the links, please message me. I have already been messaged about this already, and I said to the lady, sorry, I can't remember your name. I said to the lady, you don't have to have a social media account to be able to access this, and she went, oh my god, you have so made my day. And I loved that. I love enabling people. No, I love actually having people come along on the ride. Yes, it's so much fun enabling people. It is so much fun for me to then be able to say, my husband's sniggering over here. I'm not quite sure why.
I'll just have this beer.
Sorry?
I'll have this beer.
Where's my drink?
This is my last one I can find. Oh, I'm so pleased.
I don't drink beer.
That's a shame. It's the last one.
Lucky you. Oh, God.
I was just going to say, the only reason that I filled in my Facebook details was to catch a wife. Not really thinking that I was going to get married, but for the purpose of dating.
He didn't catch me on Facebook, though.
No.
Right.
But
anyway.
You looked me up on Facebook.
Yes,
you?
I did, because everyone has to be looked up on Facebook
right.
to make sure they're not weird.
And if I hadn't had a Facebook account, you'd have gone, no, hell no.
No, but I would have been going, who is this person who doesn't live in the real world back then?
And since then, I haven't touched it.
No, true. Anyway, so, enabling. Yes, I love enabling, if that's what you want to call it. No, I actually love having friends who go and catch your passion, and then you can do it together and you can encourage each other. And I have people off social medias doing it. You know, they're not YouTubers or anything else, and they're coming along and they're doing it with me, and it's so much fun to see them progressing and them tearing their head out because or their hair out even, because they've got a frog a section or whatever it else, just like me, and then they'll turn up and they'll say, hey, have you got such and such? And I'll go, no, but have you heard of such and such? And you work together and you get it done, and you just do it together. And I think that's the together is the key. It's not about enabling. And I have enabled somebody else actually with the knitting that I'm doing. You know, and again, it's about bringing them along on the ride, because it's like, hey, I see this is awesome, I know you'll like it. Simple as. Or I hope you'll like it, and if you don't like it, that's okay, but I like it. You know, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Where's the part where they show you something and you like it?
Oh, that's Rachel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is a pecking order involved?
No, there's no pecking order involved, because apparently I enable her all the time, too. Yes.
See, it's a sharing.
Yeah, see, we share, and then make each other go broke. Yeah, I actually asked the girls about an Advent kind of thing for Christmas, you know, is it possible to get, like, which is why I've made a decision. I'll let you in on this while I'm still doing the last few drills on this colour. In November, when I get my sassy pouch, which are these gorgeous things, you know, with the sassy devil. When I get my sassy pouch, I'm actually going to do the unpacking, one package a day with a bit of a vlog each day. Okay, spoiler alert, yes, you're going to get vlogs in November. I don't know when this package is going to arrive. It could be on Wednesday, depending on whether or not it's the sassy pouch that Australia Post is alerting me to, because it doesn't tell me. It just gives me a tracking number that doesn't relate to any other tracking number I've ever received in the face of the earth.
That's the freight forwarder's fault.
I don't know where this package is coming from, but there's a package coming on Wednesday. I think it could be the Sassy Patch, but then it's only coming from like 2 suburbs away. Anyway, I don't know. I'm clueless. I'll figure it out when I get the mail.
Actually, it could be also.
Which is always a surprise. Anyway, so the plan for me is, and I'll get there, the plan for me is to do a daily vlog unpacking the present with you. I don't care really if you're not into cross-stitchy stuff or anything else. The point for it is, it's a training exercise for me. The peanut gallery can be quiet for a second.
Say, was it going to be like a pass the parcel one?
No, it's not a pass the parcel. But I am going to be doing one a day. It is to train me to do a vlog, to do a piece to camera, to not necessarily do it on my computer. It could be that I do it with my phone, which means that I could do it in a remote location. I might even... With the peanut gallery involved.
Yeah.
Or not. We still have to do the space... Not the space. We still have to do the spouse tag.
Oh.
He doesn't mean he has to be on camera, but it could be to a recorded WiPnChat or something.
Daily behind the camera, naked and... No.
Okay. So, yes. November is training. Because in December, I am going to try and go live every day. I don't know why I'm going to try and go live every day. But maybe we can see about going live every day. It used to be a time, once upon a time in my life, that I used to have a diary. It could be that I use it like a diary. Some of them are going to be very short. Some of them are probably going to be longer. I don't know. It doesn't matter if you're busy. It's not about you, dear. No, it's not about you.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He's always saying it's about him. He's
Gosh.
so high maintenance. And keeping him in alcohol, oh my goodness.
Which, like walking, I do slowly.
If you heard that, he said, which like walking, he does slowly. Yes. Which like alcohol at the moment, I don't. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, give me a shot.
She did go through quite a lot. No, Friday.
Yeah, Friday wasn't a good day, though. Friday was the funeral day. So, look, there's... and I don't know what's in store. So, on Sundays, you're going to get maybe a sneak peek mail. It could be that I will incorporate the daily vlog with the daily videos. Because I'm off work, it might work better. When I'm back at work, this might not work quite so well. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Some of it could be quite untidy. Some of it could be... I don't know, in the kitchen, maybe. Although I am very aware of backgrounds and how clutter looks behind the scenes, so I don't know. We'll wait and see. Backdrops and all of that. I certainly enjoyed, and you may or may not have seen it, me doing the microphone thing. So I've actually got a new microphone for my laptop, which means that I can be more portable with the same computer editing system and all of that. And I can get my husband to open up the network. Yeah, to enable me to get the start and finish kind of trailer and closer clips from my computer here onto the laptop. Without me having to upload it and download it, I can just get it off the internal network. Apparently you have to log into the same thing or something. I can't remember how I do it. I just have to get him to step through those two things with me. It's kind of like a shared folder, but I forget where it is. Anyway, I'll get the tech. I'll get the tech genius. No. I just want to be able to slide files internally on the computers so that I can do the exact same quality of video for you for the vlogs. You know, I might have a different opener and closer, but otherwise it would be the same kind of thing. So yes, you're not gonna be feeling, oh my god, Pippa does such a shitty job with her videos or anything like that. If you have even got this far. Yeah, so
we've got quality control.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Right, last two, and I'm gonna roller this, and I'm gonna go and help out with dinner. So, what did I make? I made a flower or a grassy thing. Remember, the hummingbird is up there, I think, if it's a hummingbird. I'm still loving this. Still loving this, absolutely. And it's, well, time-wise, it takes its time. It's confetti, but it's okay.
Can I make a suggestion?
What's that?
At the end of the video, maybe close with the roast lamb as you're cutting it.
Close with the roast lamb as I'm cutting it. And make you all dribble and drool, and then get you to smell the gravy that we have made from.
Maybe a brief picture of it, and then move on to non-food things.
No, because I'm now going to edit this so that it's editing as I'm eating dinner, and then it's uploading. And look at that! Oh, every moment squares. Not even a click. Well, there were 2 clicks. There you go. A little bit closer. I'll open this up. I'll take a picture. I will put the picture into the thumbnail, so you'll have seen actually the beginning at the end of the beginning. Yeah, don't mind me. All right. I see. Look, I have half a mug of tea, cold tea. I think I said it'd be cold. Yeah, I'm used to it. Cold coffee, cold tea. All right. Okay. Talk to you soon. DP-a-thon next weekend. This weekend even. My husband gets all confused when I do that. DP-a-thon on the weekend. See us there. Check out some new peoples, and if you like them, subscribe to them. If you don't like them, don't subscribe, but you know, whatever, support them. Support the DP-a-thon. If you've got stuff to do, the playlists will be there ad infinitum. They are saved. I will be saving it within my playlist, I think in the live playlist. So you'll be able to see them as, you know, if you go onto my channel, you can see the DP-a-thons as a collective for each of the days there. So, excuse me, check them out. Yes, lots happening. It's getting to be a busy time of the year. I have no idea what we're doing for Christmas, and that's like 1 month away. Crap. Right. Hit me up for ideas for the man who kind of has everything, and he's a geek, and he's a skinflint who doesn't spend any money and doesn't want me to spend money on him recklessly either, so he kind of takes the joy out of spending, but he's sensible too.
Well, you could have bought me a car.
I did buy you a car, dear. He's giggling now. I'm out of here because it's going to get worse from here. Alright, look after yourselves, please. Wear your masks. Don't forget to vote. I think the voting is still happening over in the US this week. Please make sure that you get your vote in. If you're super paranoid, don't do a mail-in. Go in person. I know some people are having problems because they moved addresses. Yeah, hope you can get your vote in, people. Yeah. Take care, and I will see you around on the tubes. Bye for now. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.